Hey guys, welcome back to episode 3 of my Star Wars episode 3 Revenge of the Sith novel. If you don't know what's going on with the series, I am doing another series just like I did with my Star Wars episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker expanded edition novel series, where I went in depth into part of the scenes and parts of the movie, of the film and the story itself, obviously, and all this extra dialogue and all this awesome stuff in the expanded novel with my Revenge of the Sith novel. This unfortunately is an expanded edition, so yeah, but it is the novel and some extra dialogue. We've also got some extra scenes, got all that sort of stuff. So yeah, get pumped. We've already gone through 2 episodes. Currently, we have gone into the kind of been like back-to-back episodes. We've had like Chancellor's office. Anakin prompted the title of Jedi Master, and the Chancellor's personal assistant. So this is Chancellor like getting into his head and like turning him over to his side. Then we got like Anakin's outrage and the Council's assignment. So like take a seat, young Skywalker. It's got that scene in there, and we got Anakin and Obi-Wan with a lot more dialogue there. And yeah, it's about Anakin practically like the Council giving him his mission and the tension between Anakin and Mace Windu and the Jedi Council. But today we're going to one of my favorite episodes, Palpatine's Spiel, Darth Plagueis the Wise. So this is obviously his spiel in the conference room, being Darth Plagueis the Wise, and he talks to Anakin and he tells him about the Sith legend and how he assassinated his master and murdered his master in his sleep. So yeah, we're gonna get into that today. Pretty cruisy episode, but yeah, get ready. As you can see, it kind of all ramps up from here. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. If you are, make sure to force push the like button and subscribe if you're new. And yeah, turn on notifications so you miss any other my content. But without further ado, let's get straight into Palpatine's spiel. Even in the middle of a war, elegance and ease filled the galaxy's opera house. The most important and cultured members of the government went there to watch the best performers in the Republic. For a few hours, they could pretend there was no war. But even here, Anakin thought, the war had changed things. Fewer of the senators and administrators came to the opera house. The seats were crowded with less important, less busy beings. Red-robed guards stood outside the Chancellor's private box, observing the hallway instead of the performance. The infamous Baron Papanoida loitered nearby. I wonder what he's doing here. But no one else looked twice at Anakin, though his plain Jedi robes made him feel a little out of place amid all the magnificence. The guards let him into the Chancellor's box. Anakin stood for a moment, letting his eyes adjust to the dimmer light. Chancellor Palpatine was seated near the front, where he had the best view of the stage. Massa Meda and Sly Moore sat behind him. As Anakin saw him, Palpatine raised a hand and gestured him over. I have good news, Palpatine said softly as Anakin bent to hear him. Our clone intelligence units have discovered the location of General Grievous. He is hiding in the Utapau system. At last, Anakin said. Massa Meda frowned at him, feeling sheepish. He lowered his voice and went on. He won't escape us this time. Palpatine smiled and nodded, but Anakin wasn't sure whether the gesture was meant for him or for the Mon Calamari dancers in the liquid globe before him. You are the best choice for this assignment, Palpatine said after a moment. But the Council can't always be trusted to do the right thing. They try, Anakin said. Then he remembered the request Obi-Wan had made. Do they? He wondered. Sit down, Palpatine said. He dismissed Ameda and Sly Moore, then leaned toward Anakin. You know I'm not able to rely on the Jedi Council. They haven't included you in their plot. They soon will. Anakin hesitated. I'm not sure I understand. Spying on the Chancellor was wrong, but it wasn't a plot, he told himself. The Council just wanted more information. The Jedi Council wants control of the Republic, Palpatine said flatly. They're planning to betray me. No, but Anakin wasn't as certain as he had been a few days ago. I don't think... Anakin, search your feelings, Palpatine said gently. You do know, don't you? I know they don't trust you. Even saying that much felt like a betrayal, but surely Palpatine knew it already. Palpatine smiled sadly. Or the Senate, or the Republic, or democracy, for that matter. I have to admit, my trust in them has been shaken, Anakin said. How? Anakin couldn't think of a thing to say. He couldn't lie to the Chancellor, but telling him the truth would only make matters worse. We're on the same side! We should be working together! But Palpatine nodded, as if Anakin had spoken aloud. They asked you to spy on me, didn't they? He asked. He knows! Anakin looked down. I don't know what to say. He couldn't quite bring himself to confirm the Chancellor's suspicions. I'm confused. Remember back to your early teachings, Anakin, the Chancellor said. All those who gain power are afraid to lose it. He paused. Even the Jedi. The Jedi use their powers for good. The way I did when I killed Count Dooku. Anakin shook off the thought. I didn't intend to kill him. It just happened. I knew it was wrong. I knew it was not a way the Jedi is supposed to use his power. But a small voice in the back of his head whispered, Still, you killed him. Good is a point of view, Anakin, and the Jedi point of view is not the only valid one. Palpatine settled back more comfortably in his chair. The Dark Lords of the Sith believe in security and justice also, yet they are considered evil. Anakin was glad Palpatine had finally picked something he was sure of. Palpatine smiled. Evil, from a Jedi's point of view. Yet the Sith and the Jedi are similar in almost every way, including their quest for greater power. The difference between the two is the Sith are not afraid of the dark side of the Force. That is why they are more powerful. The Sith rely on their passion for their strength, Anakin said. They think inward, only about themselves. And the Jedi don't? Palpatine said, lifting his eyebrows skeptically. The Jedi are selfless. They only care about others. Palpatine's smile grew. Or so you've been trained to believe. Why is it then that they have asked you to do something you feel is wrong? I'm not sure it's wrong. The Council must have reasons he didn't know about for asking him to spy on the Chancellor, but they wouldn't tell me what they were. A cold, hard feeling grew inside him. What if we really aren't all on the same side? Have they asked you to betray the Jedi Code? Palpatine asked. The Constitution? A friendship? Your own values? Anakin swallowed hard and said nothing. Think, Palpatine urged him. Consider their motives. Keep your mind clear of assumptions. The fear of losing power is a weakness of both the Jedi and the Sith. Anakin hardly heard him. He was a Jedi. It was the only thing he had ever wanted to be, the only dream he had ever had. I wanted to be the best Jedi ever. He'd had trouble sometimes, living up to the code, like killing Dooku. He'd always thought it was harder for him than for other Jedi, because he'd started the training late. But what if that wasn't it at all? What if nobody else was really following the code? He found himself wishing, with a strength that surprised him, for one of Obi-Wan's stern lectures on the importance of the code. I'll talk to Obi-Wan about this later, he decided. Perhaps Obi-Wan could make sense of all this, somehow. The Chancellor had turned back to watch the performance. After another moment he asked, Have you ever heard the legend of Darth Plagueis the Wise? No. The change of subject was a relief. Anakin didn't want to talk about the Jedi anymore. His feelings were too confused. I thought not, Palpatine said. He leaned back, studying Anakin in the dim light. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a Dark Lord of the Sith. He had such a knowledge of the dark side that he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. Padme! Instantly, Anakin forgot about the Jedi Council, about spying, about Obi-Wan and the Code. He could actually keep someone safe from death? He asked. The dark side is the pathway to many abilities that some consider unnatural, Palpatine answered in a soft voice. Remembering where they were, Anakin lowered his voice. What happened to him? Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew, and then the apprentice killed him in his sleep. Palpatine smiled slightly. It's ironic that he could save others from death, but not himself. Anakin remembered bending over his dying mother, knowing that there was some way to save her, but unable to sense what it was. I knew the Force could keep someone from dying. I knew it! If I can find out what this Darth Plagueis learned, I can save Padme.
Could save others.
Trying to keep the
Yes,
eagerness from his voice, he asked,
but
"Is
not
it
himself.
possible to learn this power?" "Not from a Jedi," Palpatine
Is
said
it
with
possible
finality.
to learn this power?
The ballet was ending. Palpatine joined briefly in the applause and then gestured to Anakin to precede him out the
Not from
door.
a Jedi.
Anakin nodded, but he was still preoccupied with what Palpatine had told him. The Jedi archives contained considerable information about the Sith, Anakin knew, but access to that information was restricted to Jedi Masters, and I'm not a Master. His lips tightened in a combination of anger and determination. "I don't care. Somehow, I'm going to find out how to do what Darth Plagueis did. I'm going to save Padme. I'll do anything to save her. Anything." Well, there you go, guys. There's a lot more information and a lot of extra dialogue, actually, on Darth Plagueis the Wise, the legend and the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Yeah, so a lot of extra dialogue there. Very interesting. Some more speech between Palpatine and Anakin. And yeah, just we really delved in and went in depth to everything happening there, which I really enjoyed. And yeah, so I think that's really it. There's not really much to say. It speaks for itself. Kind of cruisy video again, but man, boy oh boy, does it step up from here, and it really does. The next video actually being very important to the series and the story itself. So, guys, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the button down below, join the Kenobi crew, turn on post notifications so you don't miss any more of my content. Force push the like button, and go check me out on Spotify while you're here. Like, why not? Really appreciate some listens there or a follow. So yeah, without further ado, that's going to be the end of today's video. Hope you guys can go on to enjoy. Check out the rest of the episodes in the series, and I will see you in the next episode.